Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This episode is going to be about I highly opinionated what I think is the most important things for somebody first playing Eve Echoes to do. And I realize that some of you are going to disagree with me, and I don't care. I know I'm a noob at this game, and I don't care. This is my opinion on it, and I'm right, and that's just it. And I'll explain while I'm right. So, yeah, hang with me. Number one, you just started the game. You're a complete noob. You have nothing. The UI is a mess. You're lost. You have no friends. There's no tutorials. The wikis are all about EVE Online that may or may not even be updated for EVE Online, much less EVE Echoes. The EVE Echoes resources that are available are kind of crap. I don't care what anybody says. Just what I've seen is just like junk. So you're really stuck. And that's why you're watching this video. Or, well, you know me and you're like, hey, what do? I want to play that game with you. So you're watching this video. Here's the deal. Plan in advance. This is nerd porn. This isn't like click, pay to win bullshit. This is like you're going to have to actually think, make decisions, and do activities in order to go towards that direction. Yeah, I know it's amazing how that works out sometimes. But anyway, this is the way that it is in this game. So I would say when you start the game, you open it up, you have a ship. Okay, you're going to get with the little starter ship. The first thing that you do is just go through the tutorials. The tutorials on the left-hand side, I don't see them anymore because I've completed them. They're going to be easy to complete. Go through those. When you get to the point when you need to join a corporation, shameless self-promotion. If we have a space in our corporation and you need a corporation just for the quest, just join and drop. Hey, no problem. My feelings definitely won't be hurt. There you go. We are a noob-friendly corporation. As long as we got space, the more the merrier. So it's 500 ISK. You definitely want to get to that part of the tutorial. Absolutely. Okay. Now, one of the most important things I think of the game is skill points. You can't buy them currently. You can only get them by waiting, basically, unless they screw up a release and they give skill points as I'm sorry. Barring that, even if you buy Omega, it's not going to make a drastic world of difference in terms of the gifts. It will make a drastic world of difference in terms of the skill points you gain per minute, but anyway, I'm not covering that. So I would say the most important decision that you're going to make when you first start playing Eve Echoes, aka EE, is your skill points. And there's a couple of different things that you can pick. Actually, there's a whole bunch of different you can pick. And I'll probably go over some of this in a different video. But let's back up. Before you spend skill points, top left-hand corner, profile, ship tree, bottom left-hand, these are the different corporations, companies, and factions. And so you're going to end up having a style of gameplay that favors like one of these. Now, I personally think that there's the game favors missiles and drones, and I think that they have the potential to have decomposers being strong. So these are the three things that I personally think, and I can explain those in a different video, that I think they're pretty good weapons in the game. So those weapons dictate what kind of ships I want. Now, these guys make the Caracol trainer, blah, blah, blah. These ships are bonus heavy towards missiles. And so if you decide that you want to go with missiles as the weapon of choice, you come into the ship tree and you find one that has a synergy for missiles, generally speaking. My personal build doesn't match with this for various reasons. I've made these choices. I have to live with them. But if you like missiles, go into the ship tree, find a ship that you like that has missiles, and plan for 3 months away. This isn't necessarily planned for tomorrow. This is planned for 3 months away. because the way that the game is set up, I personally think that you should invest in the ship that you want 3 months from now. And that's going to be a little bit different advice than people are going to give you, than most other people are going to give you. And I'll explain why. I think it's extremely wrong, stupid, like, uck them, don't listen to them, listen to me. Yes. And here's why. So the ship that I really want to get is this little bad boy over here. I think this is it. This one. I super duper want this. It's like, this is like my dream ship. I want this so bad. However, I gotta wait. For lots of different reasons, I gotta wait. So I'm gonna have to settle for alternative ships in the meantime, like the one that I'm using, or maybe another one next month, something like that. But the game actually progresses up to a point pretty quickly. And between the point where you have the ship that you really, really want and the ship that you're stuck with, I don't think it's too much of a difference. Because in the meantime, okay, let's back up. So in your skill tree, don't do what I did. This weapons technology? No, not this one. This, like, let's go cruiser technology. You see, I did like level 5 frigate, level 5 destroyer, and I don't even have a level 5 cruiser command, but yet I'm really heavily favoring cruisers. So what happened is I wasted those skill points on this, and it is pretty much of no value to me whatsoever, and I could be much further along in this in the meantime. So like the hundreds of, hold on, let's go back to it. Let's see what that is. So this one is going to be, I can't even see it right now. Hold on. I'll show you guys just for, I don't know, kicks and giggles, how much time I wasted and why you shouldn't waste this as well. So this is only 70 hours. Okay, not too terribly bad, but it's still 70 hours. And I bet you that these two combined were probably 140 hours of wasted skill points for this frigate command and this destroyer command. And I could have put it here, and I could have put it here. And it probably would have gotten me down to expert. Something like that, or maybe a lot closer than I am today. And what does that do? Well, if the thing that you're upgrading directly benefits you, then your velocity will be faster. It means you fly around faster. It means you get hit less. There's other different trade-offs for it. So if you wasted your time, so I mean, like day one, you're probably going to start with a frigate. You're probably going to fly around with a frigate, but you definitely don't need a level 5 skill in this to actually be effective in your frigate. You can do baby chill missions in the encounters, and you can survive and you can save up enough until your skill points are at like level 5 or level 6 or whatever, and then you can get a cruiser. There's basically what I'm saying is don't invest in those, because there's other ways, other tactics that you can do in order to get ISK to help you level up in the game, so you can basically start on the right track, because you're going to start on the wrong track. Cruisers aren't immediately available. They're just not. So you're going to be flying around in a frigate, but don't invest in frigate skill points unless you really want to fly long term in a frigate. Just that simple. Which one of these was I upgrading? It was this guy. I think it was this guy. So yeah, there we go. So that's really my biggest pet peeve. And I mean, like, I went all over the place and I was like investing in this and investing in that. And, over here, I think over here, it's all over the place. A lot of this stuff isn't required. It's more or less early game. It's a waste of time. Long term. By long term, I mean you've been playing the game for 3 months. At that point, do whatever you want. You want to invest in battle cruisers? Go for it. Frigates? Have at it. But you've mastered your core. It's like master of all trades, or it's like jack of all trades, master of none. In this game, you will be highly rewarded for having a very focused mission. And by that I mean like picking the type of ship, picking the weapons, and building the technology around that. I would even go so far as to say that your maintenance technology and all this other extra that you have to do, if you know that you're going to do shields as a bonus, focus on shields. If you know you're going to do shield hardening, focus on that. You'll see I went all over the damn place, like spending these things and upgrading random shit because I didn't know what I was doing. I was a noob. I had no clue whatsoever. I didn't know, any of this stuff. So I've got like points here and points there. At the end of the day, figure out your play style and then put your skill points towards it. The other big tip that I can give you is if you don't know what you're going to do, don't spend them. Just don't. What you can do instead is you can go in the store, you can get Omega, costs $15 a month. Don't buy the janky one. There's like two levels of it. There's like the janky one and then there's like the real one. Don't get the janky one. Just spend, see like the basic Omega, the $5. I don't even know what this offers. Let's see. Basic Omega. I don't even know what that is. But I can tell you that this one, it allows you to accumulate your skill points without having to use them. So just let them build up. I think, and someone correct me in the comments below, that you could just buy the Omega, let the damn thing upgrade for 3 months. Well, I mean, if you bought 3 months of Omega or 3 weeks, whatever, 3 days, just wait it out, get the skill points like loaded up, and then like after you finally decide what to spend them on, because you finally have enough to have the ship, go for it. Nobody is forcing you to actually fly a frigate. I basically didn't. I just basically sat in the station, waited like a day or 2 days, something like that, for me to get a cruiser. I said, screw it. That's what I went with because I knew from the beginning that I didn't care about frigates. But for some stupid reason, I spent skill points there. Why? Because nobody kicked me in the pants saying, no, don't do that. Skill points are precious. Spend them accordingly. If you made a mistake for it, it's not the end of the world, whatever. I think the third piece of advice that I'm going to give you is plan to have alternatives. This is not a game where one account is going to do everything. You're probably going to have farms. So click there, click quit, and you'll see that I have, okay, waiting. You'll see I have 2 accounts. One account is going to be for manufacturing and crafting, and one account is going to be for playing. I probably need about 10 of these, to be honest, because you need industry, you need all of these extra different things, and this is just what I have for now. The other thing to be careful of is if you have like my main account and then another account, and they're on the same device, both of them have to be Omega. Otherwise, the one that is inactive, if it's not Omega, isn't going to get skill points. I know, it's kind of janky. So it's not really $15 a month if you're playing from the same device. It's like 15, 15, 15. Still not too terribly bad. Or just use a second device and not give you can have it working at the same time. So there is a workaround, but it requires a second device. Not a big deal. Really entirely your choice. And obviously, like picking a synergy, like manufacturing, which is basically like you start a manufacturing job and then you just go to a different account, compared to having like 2 ships that you need to battle back and forth, because if you both need them in battle, you probably want a second device. So I'm just trying to go over some of the basic tips here. But yeah, so the basic Omega, the $5 one or whatever it was, it's worthless. Don't bother with it. Just get the $15 one. Get the chips either by plusking or purchasing them or just trading in game and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be my final tip for people just getting in the game. It's not pay to win. You may not be accustomed to spending in a game. Hey, that's cool, that's fine. You can free play in the game. I don't necessarily recommend it unless you are an angel of patience. In which case, hey, ignore half of what I'm saying. Do what you want. So there you go. Assuming that you can afford like $50 to get the chips and $15 a month, you can just verify that your training speed is 75 SP per minute. And that means that you're on track as basically as fast as you can in the game, and you can't purchase it any faster. And just, that's that. Now, for what they're going to give you on the rewards, these rewards, this is like an hour of savings. 5,000 equals an hour. So it's like an hour, it adds up to like maybe 6 days. Not 6 days. I don't know, 1 or 2 days by the end of the month. So if you have Omega, you're going to be 1 or 2 days ahead based on the login rewards. And then I think the SP gains are pretty significant. So it's going to be like 2 times speed. So you'll see that I have 544 hours until T7. And I've only been playing the game for day 17. I don't think that's too terribly bad. I'll be, let's say, 40 days into the game and at a level that I think is very comfortable. The T8s, the T9s, the T10s, I look at those ships and I think, those are cool. Those are very interesting. But I can tell you the ships that I really want, that I'm just oogling over, are these T7 faction ships. So that's really the point of where I think, I'm going to get serious. Right now, I'm just dinking around. The build that I want to do, I have it to cut corners and do janky stuff, and it just doesn't feel comfortable. T7 factions, that's where I feel like I'm going to get my stride. And between now and then, I just, do encounters, talk to friends, I be social. Nobody's forcing me to do anything that I don't want to do. And that's one of the things that I love about this game. Shameless self-promotion in my game. I really feel like I need to emulate some of these things because I think there's things to be learned from this. So I'm not giving up on making my own game. I'm in the process of, let's call it competitive analysis, learning, enjoying something between now and then. And so, yeah, there we go. This is just me kind of trying to share with you what I think is the most important thing of the whole game for an early beginner, and is just basically spend your skill points wisely and get Omega. Those are the top two things, just without a doubt. There's other ways to talk about industry and other tips and really fine grain and subtle things. I'll go into those in different tutorials, but this is the hardcore, the must-haves. So the three things again: I'd pick a ship, work towards it, spend your skill points frugally and carefully, and 3, get Omega. Just that's it. So anyway, I love you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you like this content, you want to see more of it, feel free to drop a comment, hit subscribe and like. It really helps the channel. I've got a Discord, feel free to pop on there if you have questions. Sometimes I'm friendly, sometimes I'm sarcastic, something. It is what it is. But anyway, love you guys and bye-bye for now.